All right, we're going to jump into lesson 12.3 here, which is on modeling systems. And notice I've filled in a bunch of stuff here, so you can pause the video as you need to fill in your note sheet as we go along here. But first, I just kind of listed some steps for modeling these scenarios using systems of equations. So just like normal, we're going to start by identifying our variables. Okay, so that'll be the first step, and usually there's two variables in these because these are systems of equations, which means we have at least two unknowns, which are the two variables. And then kind of how these follow a pattern here is that the first equation is going to be to create a value equation. Okay, and so when I create that equation, I'm going to use this money symbol next to it, so you know that's the value equation, right? So that would be like if it was $10 per ticket, I would put that into one equation. And then we're going to create an amount equation. Okay, so this is going to be another equation that represents the number of items I have. So not necessarily how much they're worth, but the number of items that I have. And then we're going to solve using the different methods that we have for solving systems. And you'll see what we're talking about here on the next one. So it says, Jack is selling tickets to an event. Attendees can either buy a general admission ticket or a VIP ticket. The general admission tickets are $60 and VIP tickets are $90. He doesn't know how many of each type he has sold, but he knows he had sold a total of 29 tickets and made $2,100. So that's a lot of information in that problem, right? So first we're identifying variables. So it looks like we have general admission tickets and we have VIP tickets. Okay, and you can see below I've used the variables G and V so that I can remember which one is which. And so then what I did first is I created this value equation. That's why I have the money symbol over here, right? This money symbol doesn't mean anything, it's just to keep me organized. Okay, but we know that the value of these general admission tickets are $60, so I have 60G plus 90V, and then that equals the value of this thing, which is $2,100. So notice everything with a money sign here, all the money here, is in the same equation, right? All three of those pieces, 60, 90, and 2,100, are all in the same equation. And then we have this amount equation, which is the number of items he sold. Okay, and so for this one, we have G for general admission, V for VIP, and it says that they sold a total of 29 tickets, so that equals 29. And then from here, we can go ahead and solve using our different methods. I'm going to use elimination here, okay? And I'm going to go ahead and eliminate the 60G. So I'm going to multiply this whole equation by negative 60. Okay, so it's going to give me a new equation, looks like this. Negative 60G minus 60V equals negative 60 times 29 equals negative 1,740. Okay, so I multiplied that equation there, right, which basically eliminates this piece here, right? I just changed it up into that equation, and now I can go ahead and solve, right, using the same method. So 60G and negative 60G cancel out. This leaves me 30V equals, let's see, 2100 minus 1740 is going to give me 360. And then divide both sides by 30, and I get V equals 12. Okay, and remember there is a total of 29 tickets, so if 12 of them are VIP, then that means that G has got to be 17, so that it adds up to that 29. All right. And then I want to make one quick point here. Notice I multiplied by negative 60, right? But I could have also multiplied by negative 90. Remember, the goal is to eliminate one of these two variables, so I just chose the opposite number like we've done in the past. Let's slide down below here. It says a local fish market is selling fish and lobsters by the pound. The fish costs $4.50 and the lobster costs $9.50. The fish market sells 25.5 pounds and makes $189.75. So once again, we've got fish and lobster for my variables. And once again, we've got all these values here. So $4.50 for the fish, $9.50 for the lobster, and that always equals the money here, right? 189.75, always the money. Okay, so all of that value information into one equation. And then we have this amount equation, which is the number of pounds that I have. We don't know how many pounds of fish. We don't know how many pounds of lobster, but we know that together I should have 25.5 pounds. And then I can go ahead and use my elimination method here. Okay, I'm going to eliminate F, right? So this is 4.5F above, so I need this to be negative 4.5, so I'm going to multiply this whole equation by negative 4.5. That's going to give me negative 4.5 F minus 4.5 L equals negative 4.5 times 25.5 gives me negative 114.75. And then I can go ahead and solve here. So negative and positive F's cancel out. 9.5 minus 4.5 gives me 5L. And that equals 189.75 minus 114.75 gives me an even, 75. And then divide both sides by 5, and I end up with L equals 15. And remember that we sold a grand total of 25.5 pounds. So I could go back and plug this in for L if I want, or I can just say, well, that means that F must be 10.5, because I know that the grand total of these two items here has got to be 25.5. All right, keep it moving here. Remember, you can always pause this, slow this thing down if you need to. I know we're going fairly quickly. I just want to be sensitive to the time that you have. Move to the next one here. This one's got, Jennifer has 12 nickels and dimes. So notice that's my amount equation here. So I've got nickels plus dimes equals 12, right? I don't know how many nickels, I don't know how many dimes, but I know together there are 12. And then the value of her coins is $1. So this is pretty tricky because they're assuming that you know nickels are worth 5 cents, dimes are worth 10 cents, and then the grand total is $1. And now I'll go ahead and use elimination here. So I'm going to eliminate the nickels, so I'm going to multiply by negative 0.05. Okay, let's write that a little bit nicer. And then we're going to go ahead and multiply. That's going to give me negative 0.05N minus 0.05D equals, this is going to give me 0.6. And then we can go ahead and eliminate here. So I get 0.05D equals 0.4. Divide both sides by 0.05, and I get D equals 8. And remember, there are 12 total coins here, so that means N equals 4. So once again, we had the value equation.